Hello there everybody, Silentwisher here with a brand new video. In this video we're going to go over the brand new Helldivers 2 Escalation of Freedom update. Specifically patch 001.002. Anyways, I wanted to go over this with you because a lot has changed. It is labeled a major update, and that is very much the case, so let's go over it. From what I understand, this does not include the war bond. That's, I think, still scheduled for the 9th. But as far as this update goes, let's look through it real quick. So, first and foremost, difficulty 10 has been added to the game, which is Super Helldive. New mission objectives, bigger enemy outposts, new bugs and bots, new environmental hazards, new swamp world, crash fixes, social menu fixes, which says social menu fixes. We have fixed several issues and still have more things to improve, but know that we are aware of this and are working tirelessly on this. I have to say, personally, I don't understand why a social menu is giving them so much trouble, but anyway, balance rework and miscellaneous fixes. Okay, I want to also point out here, if you're going to put miscellaneous fixes, give us an idea on what that means. Otherwise, this is just kind of dumb to put here. Just my opinion. Moving on. Major updates, difficulty. These are just the extended descriptions of each of those, but we'll go through them really quick. The new difficulty is an extreme difficulty level designed for the most experienced and skilled Helldivers. The new mission objectives, 2 new secondary objectives have been added. These faction-specific optional objectives will have you assaulting automaton human processing plants to destroy their evil bioprocessor and venturing deep into Terminid territory to extract basically a baby bug to take back. Who knows what they're doing with that thing. Bigger enemy outposts, that's pretty self-explanatory. New bugs and bots, which we've kind of covered in previous videos, or at least on my website I have, silentwisher.com. But there are new bugs and bots, so that's cool. A new swamp planet, which is going to be interesting. I wonder if it's replacing the old one or how that's working, but new swamp planet. New environmental hazards. It should say new environmental hazard, because it appears that there's only one. Acid storms temporarily lowers the armor for enemies and the player, making it, harder for both sides. We'll see how that works in practice. Now, this was the main reason I wanted to do the video, was the balancing, because this could be huge for a lot of people, right? So balancing, the SG-8S Slugger has had the following changed: increased stagger force, increased spread, and increased drag. Okay. The SG-225IE Breaker Incendiary decreased the number of magazines from 6 to 4. Why? Why? To me, this is unacceptable. Decreased the recoil from 28 to, or increased, oh my god. So they just destroyed this weapon even further. Okay, to any developer that potentially is watching this, stop making the game harder just for the sake of making it harder. It's just plain stupid. Moving on. The grenade pistol, the GP-31, decreased the ammo capacity from 8 to 6. Once again, why? Increase the number of rounds replenished from an ammo box from 2 to 4. Woo, that's a good thing. Wow, finally. Yeah, so they're just destroying weapons left and right. I don't know what their creative director or whatever is thinking to allow this, but it's ridiculous. The CB-9 exploding crossbow is now one-handed. Okay, that's a good change. That is a good change. Perfect. The AX/AR-23 guard dog increased the number of magazines from 6 to 8. Perfect. Fantastic. I've been using that a lot recently. That's a good change. Orbital walking barrage increased the number of salvos from 3 to 5. Decreased movement speed by 40%. So that doesn't really make sense. at its surface level, but what I think they mean is the movement between each impact point has been slowed down by 40%. We'll see. If that's the case, that is potentially a very huge buff to that. So good job probably on there. Orbital 120 millimeter HE barrage. Decrease the cooldown from 240 seconds to 180 seconds. That's a buff. Huge buff. Huge buff. Huge buff. Also, reduce the time between the salvos. Even so, overall for the 120, big fat W. Love that. Love that. Moving on. Gameplay. The operational modifier atmospheric interference has been removed. Interesting. Next, additionally for the automatons, we've added the modifier poor intel, which makes objectives on the map to get a search radius just like the elimination objectives on the Terminid planets already have. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's cool. Corrosive acid planets no longer have the intense heat environment modifier. Perfect, great. Gunship patrols are now less frequent, and the amount of ships is reduced. Fantastic. Gunship engines are now less durable. Perfect. Improved armory weapons and preview. Improved armory weapon preview controls. So I don't know if that means the images actually load now. We'll see. Updated orders UI. Cool, whatever. Energy shields, such as the shield generator pack and shield generator relay, now block snowstorms as well as sandstorms. Holy cow, that is huge. Huge gameplay change right there. You're going to see those everywhere now. And if you don't, just know this, I will be bringing that everywhere now. That is huge. Major W, big, awesome change there. Love that. A new grief protection system has been added that allow kicked players to continue in their own mission. This allows players to complete the mission and get full rewards despite being kicked. Okay, that's cool. I love that. The way that it's labeled grief protection, I do know that there's people getting kicked in a grief method before, but developers, please, for the love of God, listen to me here. When we're kicking people from lobbies, which I unfortunately have to do frequently, whether that's them being a griefer or just because I got to make room for friends, there needs to be an additional window or additional prompt or something that when I select kick player, it tells the player why they're being kicked. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't need to be a typing where I can type it in, type a box. Just a, hey, we kicked you for griefing, or hey, we kicked you because we need to make room for friends. Just give us two options, or something simple like that. Just moving on. Fixes. Bunch of crash fixes. I'm not going to read these. We'll just show them on screen for a second. It looks like there's some Windows ones. There's a PS5 crash, which is interesting. Weapon and stratagem fixes. Now we need to pay attention to this because this could be a potential hidden debuff / nerf. The Devastator armor has incorrect description. That's fine. The Blitzer, you can now hold down the fire button and shoot continuously. Huge buff. Thank God. Hallelujah. I don't know why that wasn't like that in the beginning. But thank you. Okay. Arc 12 Blitzer and Plasma Punisher has apparently armor penetration. Didn't know that. But they added the tags for it, so that's good. The grenade pistol, the laser pistol, and the S22 Bushwhacker moved into the special sidearm category. The LAS sickle fixed incorrect fire limit value in the weapon stats. Interesting. Okay. The ballistic shield backpack no longer blocks the enemy's line of sight. I did know that. No longer collides with the combat walker. Didn't know that was happening, but that's good. Fixed a bug. We're picking up a super SSD drive would cause the ballistic shields to be dropped. I've had that happen. That's great. Great fix. Fixed ballistic shield to not collide with the player as long as it's wielded. Thank you. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Let's get that back up here. Anyway, I've had that bug a lot, and I hate that. So I'm glad that's fixed, or claimed to be fixed. We'll see once we actually get in game today. The guard dog can now be refilled from ammo boxes found around the map. Oh my goodness, thank you. Next, miscellaneous weapon fixes. Fixed a bug where weapons would be held sideways. My friend had this bug all the time, so I'm glad that's fixed. Fixed arc weapons not shooting out any bolts when line of sight enemy is blocked by an obstacle. Okay, I've had that happen. Yeah, that makes sense. Fixed arc weapons misfiring when shooting enemies quickly that are horizontally aligned. Interesting. Moving on. Social menu fixes. There they are. I'm not going to read them. It's kind of whatever. Miscellaneous fixes. We're not going to read these either. We're going to go through these really quickly. Just scroll through them. If you want to pause, point something out. I'm actually not going to even read these myself. At least not at the moment. But there's a ton of these. So we're just going to scroll through those real quick. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed the video and this kind of commentary on the patches, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me out. It really, really does. And I really appreciate it. And we need to cover the known issues just in case there's anything new or still remaining. We are aware and are currently investigating some performance issues with the new difficulty level 10, and we've begun working on a fix. Yeah, okay, bud. We'll see. Game may display infinite loading screen if a player disconnects during the deployment cutscene. Great. I thought we had that fixed, but whatever. Players may sometimes not resend friend or might not receive friend requests. That's the same. Invite only games created by a friend can still be seen in the Galactic War map. Okay, whatever. Conduct geological survey mission may become incompletable if a player calls in the seismic probe and immediately leaves the game. I've had this happen. That's not great. Bile Titans sometimes do not take damage to the head. That happens all the time. Oh, there it goes again. Oops. Enemies that bleed out do not progress. Okay, why is that not fixed? That should be an easy fix, y'all. Come on. Dead massive enemies may sometimes launch the Helldivers into the air. Yes, I could see that being a bug. That's funny though. Most weapons shoot below the crosshair. That should still be that should be fixed by now. That's been a bug for way too long. Come on. Flamethrowers fired from inside the shield generator relay cannot damage enemies. That's a new one, I believe, and that is dumb. Anyways, chain link fences can block flamethrower fire. Okay, I get that from a game dev point of view, and that's really lame that it does that, but that seems like a relatively easy fix, so let's do that. Stratagem beam might attach itself to an enemy, but will deploy to its original location. That is still a bug. That's been around for, gosh, I feel like almost from the beginning, like almost. That's crazy. Guard Dog Rover does not overheat when firing continuously. Oh, boo-hoo. That one's a buff for us. That's fine. Reinforcement may not be available to players who join a game in progress. I've had this happen to myself as someone joining a game, and I've had it happen to where I'm in a game, somebody joins, I die, I can't respawn, but everyone else can. So that's obviously bad. Service technician on the ship cannot be interacted with. Okay. Enemies can sometimes shoot through obstacles. That needs to be fixed immediately. That should be a mission critical #1. Get this fixed because that's unacceptable. Period. Okay. With that all being said, everyone, that is the very large patch update today, being, that was released on 8/6/2024 for Helldivers. So, hope you guys enjoyed the patch notes. And I look forward to providing you with plenty of more Helldivers 2 gameplay footage here shortly. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.